Hello everyone, welcome to JrF Explorer. My name is Muzammil. In this video, we will try to look and analyze the syllabus of English literature for Net-Jrf exam. As you all know that JrF exam has a very good depth of questions. There are very large number of topics to be covered. The topics to be covered are variational. It depends on the literature they are going to ask. If it's traditional English literature, British literature, it will be much about short stories, it will be much about drama, it will be much about poetry and novels. But if it's about Indian literature, they will look into the specificity of the subject, and we will try to analyze and how to approach to every portion that we are going to do in this lecture only. Let's start. As you see, the first and foremost unit of our syllabus is drama. The second one is poetry, and the third one is short story or fiction. Why did I took all these portions, all these first three portions together? There is a reason. Because whenever we are doing any literature, that means be it Indian literature, be it British literature, be it African literature, be it American literature, or be it African American literature, or be it other kinds of literature like European, Italian, French, Russian. So there is quite a large number of books to be read while doing these literatures. So I actually took these three portions together because whenever you are going to be asked any question from any portion of these, be it drama, poetry, short fiction, short story or fiction, these genres, they will be asked from every literature, and we should know how to approach these very topics. Okay, so whenever you are going to do the drama, you have to keep the acts, the scenes in mind, the characters, and particularly if you are doing the medieval dramas in particular, you have to keep in mind the dialogues, Shakespearean area. You have to go through the dialogues of various books, of various plays. And when you go to the poetry, you have to keep in mind and you have to cram up the first and the last lines of each and every poem of major authors. And speaking of the minor authors, you have to do the major books of minor authors, major poetries of minor authors. And speaking of the short fiction, the short story, you have to do it from traditional British literature, you have to do it from American literature, you have to do it from Indian literature, and in this you have to keep in mind the plots and the characters together. So आप सबको समझ आया होगा कि ड्रामा, पोएट्री, शॉर्ट फिक्शन ये तीनों एक साथ करने हैं. Whatever age you are doing, whatever author you are reading, if he has written in all these genres, you have to do them together. You have to approach these very topics together. I hope you understood what I'm trying to talk about. And then the fourth section we have, it's non-fictional prose. Non-fictional prose many a times coincides with criticism, and many a times it's not only non-fictional accounts, it's essays. What comprises of non-fictional accounts is essays, is various documentaries, is various accounts, travelogues, or various records, diaries of Samuel Pepys, John Elwyn. You have to do Bacon's essays, you have to do Ben Jonson's essays, or you have to do the criticism of the later critiques as well, because those criticisms will fall in the area of non-fictional prose itself. And the fifth portion is language and pedagogy. In language and pedagogy, keep it in mind that you don't, and there is no need to be the scholar of linguistics. You have to be thorough with this exam. You have to keep in mind the breadth of exam, not the depth. You have to be organized while doing each subject area. How? You have to see where I need the conceptual building and where do I need the thoroughness and the cramming up of facts only. So language and pedagogy is one of the areas where you have to do the Creole, Pidgin, Braj Khashru's theories and books, Noam Chomsky's theories and books, and you don't have to be the scholar of those books. Keep it in mind. And going to the next area, that's very important, and these marks are on this road only, right? You can just take these marks easily because this very portion, it will coincide with the first paper's higher education. How? Suppose we are reading Wood's Dispatch. Wood's Dispatch, how it brought the English to the relevance to that time, and the same thing you will be reading in the higher education. Same we go with Macaulay's Minutes. how it's related to the higher education, and how it's related to the English in India. So English in India, while doing this portion, you can do it with higher education only, and it will make your work easy as well. And what you have to keep in mind while doing this area is various policies, articles, commissions, universities, or the historically significant events that that helped in the prosperity of English in India, or that helped in the spread of English education in India. So these things have to be kept in mind. And now we have cultural studies. Cultural studies, in these years we have seen quite a good number of questions coming from this very area. Why? Because this very area, it's much emerging as well, it's much in trend as well, and at the same time what you have to do cultural studies, Marxism, new historicism. You can do these very areas together. And what you have to do in these areas, the particulars, foremost things are the authors that were related to the cultural studies, the schools, particularly the Birmingham School, its makeup, its history, the scholars associated with the Birmingham School, the definition of culture, the definition of mass culture and popular culture, the terms in the post-colonial literature or post-colonial theories as well, like subaltern, or like we have other Foucault's works that will come into the area of cultural studies only. Sorry, forgive my grammar, because I don't have much experience in grammar only. Okay. Eighth one is literary criticism. Literary criticism, you have to do a single book. You have to do from Plato, then you have to go to even if you have enough time, you can go to the ancient Greek, like Homer, Iliad, Ars Poetica, works like those. You can thoroughly review Greek literature as well, and you will have some notion of criticism there as well. But the main and major authors that you have to do in criticism are Plato, it's Aristotle, it's Longinus, it's Dryden, it's Sidney, it's both Ben Jonson and Samuel Johnson, it's Walter Peter, it's John Ruskin, it's T.S. Eliot, and it's Frederick Jameson, excuse me, and it's F.R. Lewis. Okay, so my suggestion will be to keep yourself bound to a single source. Limit yourself while choosing the sources, because it's better to read one source 10 times than reading 10 sources once a time. And the ninth and most important area that we see coming questions from in these years is literary theory. Literary theory, it's one of the most important and doable subjects that you can do within few days only, and it will give you 20% of the paper. Cultural studies, British literature, and literary theory. These three areas are must-dos, and these three areas alone comprise almost 50% of the paper. You have to keep that thing in mind. So in literary theory, you will start from Russian formalism, then you will go to the new criticism, then you will go to the structuralism, then post-structuralism, then deconstruction, postmodernism, reader-response theory. You will go to the Marxism, you will go to the feminist Marxism, you will go to feminism, you will go to queer and lesbian theory, you will go to ecofeminism, you will go to eco-criticism, and you will go to the post-colonialism. So, and what you have to do in this area is first build the conceptual understanding related to a particular theory. For example, it's structuralism. You'll know what is structure, how a text follows in a structure, how the mechanism of structuralism works. Then you will do the authors related to the structuralism. Then you will do the particular moments, if there is any, related to structuralism, and then you will do the important books related to the structuralism written by those authors only. And first and last and very important, the important terms related to structuralism. So these things have to be kept in mind. We will be doing all these areas on our YouTube channel only in an organized way. So keep in touch. The 10th important unit we have is research methods and materials in English. Research methods and materials in English, it coincides with the research methodology of your paper 1. How? Because be it any research, you have same methods. Though there is a difference between applying methods, there will be difference in the subject matter of those research, but the basics, hypothesis, abstraction, research methodological tools, research methodology, research methods, all these things will be same across the whole research methodology area. So do this one with the first paper only, right? And in English in India, you have to do it with the higher. That's how you make the work look easier. I hope this very lecture was and will be beneficial for you, and I'll hope that we will bring you more knowledge, more sources, and from a very positive perspective, we will try to do every single unit with depth and as well as thoroughness together. So let's help each other to build a positive future. Thank you for your valuable time. Wish you the best of luck.